In the 1930s, we had Saturn in Capricorn, Uranus in Aries, and Pluto in Cancer. What happened at that time? We had collapse in the market, mass unemployment, housing's dropped in price, struggle for jobs, increased food prices. Majority of people are poor, but the morale wasn't too bad. It was low, but they weren't defeated because we were all in it together.
But also they weren't reliant on a lot of the luxuries that we were used to.
No, they weren't. Like electricity was a luxury, you know. They were. They developed a strong sense of community. Like they still had weddings. Everybody kicked in to put in a strong sense of community, and everybody still came together, even though there wasn't a lot of food and there wasn't a lot of money. Similar things are going to be happening this time around. Food prices will go up. Housing prices will drop. Interest rates will grow up, which will give mass unemployment and all the rest of it. But you know, keeping a strong sense of identity that you are not connected to money, and therefore if you don't have money, it doesn't damage your sense of self-esteem.
Yeah.
Because if you attach yourself to the dollar, then you put your self-esteem where money is, or where your house is, or where your Ferrari is, and you might have to trade in the Ferrari and get a station wagon. That's okay. This is a period of time that we are going through. 2010 to 2020 is going to be a huge, exciting time, and we are living it.
Because while we have all this breakdown of old structures, as you said, Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, we can't do things the same way as we've done it before. These new energies are going to bring in some marvellous innovations, aren't they?
Exactly. Like, you know, there'll be innovations around technology and medicine. There'll be bone grafts, bone transplants, all sorts of things like that.
And because Pluto's in Capricorn, so we're going to see a marvellous revolution.
With Uranus in Aries, it's about all breakthrough innovations and inventions with big technology and lots of evolutionary change. Pluto in Capricorn is about doing things simple. It's going to look at the structures of banking, money, government, church, stock market, big business, medicine, authority. These places are going to be affected. And you know, and Saturn is, what have I got here for Saturn? Saturn is, you know, it's about really trying to make the commitment and trying to look for truth in relationships and commitment to duty and learning to cooperate. It's about the indecision and the idealism in the view of harmony.
That's a tall order for a lot of people, don't you think? I mean,
now, even though we have this cardinal climax going on, what happens in a T-square is that you have an affected area that's not hit, but it's still affected. And the affected empty bit is Cancer. So this area is going to be hit. It's family, it's food, it's security, real estate, insurance, land, farming, you know, all these, the home, all these things are going to be hit. What I'd like to do just briefly now is I'd like to draw on the board the cardinal cross that we are having and the one that we had in the 1930s. And keep in mind, this hasn't happened for 80 years. And it's huge in if you're looking at, you know, how we are moving into a very new era of doing things and addressing our needs in a different way. And that's what a lot of this is about. So if you don't mind, if you don't mind holding the board for me. Okay, so the one we have now for 2010, we have got Pluto in the sign of Capricorn, which is, say, there at the top. Then if you come down, you have got Saturn, which is about restriction, and it's also the karmic lord, so it's like the planets going through a karmic revolution here. In Libra, which is to do with cooperation and relationships, and this is about power and authority. And then you have got Aries, which is all new beginnings and getting out there and being pioneering. And you've got Uranus there, which is like the breakdown of old structures and doing all the new things. And this was in 2010. In 1930s, we had Pluto in Cancer. This is the aspect I talked about that is affected if it's not being used, like the empty aspect of this. You had Uranus here in Aries, the same as there, and we had Saturn up here. We had Saturn up there. So if you can see, if you have a look at this and say this is the world, And there's your cardinal cross. The black is what's happening now, and the red is what happened in the 1930s. So you can actually see that we are going through a repeat of what happened then, but hopefully in a more of a evolutionary type way. And there's just one thing I'd like to cover before we finish, and I know time is short, is I just would like to look at some of the opportunities that can be taken at this time and what to do in this period of, it's going to be a period of stress.
It is going to
basically.
be, so we have to empower people. We
Yes.
can't have people just giving up and saying it's going to be too hard.
No. So some of the things I think that we could do leading up to this time is you can consolidate debt and pay off as much as you can, because it's all going to be around homes. Grow your own food, hydroponic gardening. If you can't grow outdoors, grow indoors. Streamline your expenses to know where your money goes. Pay cash for things or use your debit card because interest rates are going to go up. And use low rate interest rate cards. Diversify your money. Banks will be affected. They may merge. You know, you may need to be careful where you put your money. And do financial planning. And some of the opportunities that will be that will come as a result of all of this is humanity is learning how to be more community focused, like the 1930s. Invest in items of value that will increase over time. How to deal with adversity and stress. Families come together. They learn to change as part of evolutionary concept. They're here to be more authentic, and authentic with their true selves and moving ahead, not just doing what everybody else wants. Learn to feel secure without the consolidation of material possessions. Makes us all grow up and be responsible for the self, others and the planet, in that order. You'll have support of neighbours. War will create employment and action. If you have money, real estate will be at an all-time low. And then when all this is over, real estate will be at an all-time high. Remember, this is a period of time only.
It's a cycle. That's what we have to remember.
We've had
It's
it
a
before.
cycle.
We'll do it again in 80 years from now. This is just a period of time. If you have money, I said that, yes, food and clothing businesses should do well, and investment in blue chip stocks. So you do have opportunities out there if you are in a very strong place financially to take these opportunities. Okay. And I think I just want to end on the story of the squirrel and the grasshopper. Do you know it? When I was a little girl, I used to listen to this thing on the TV, the radio in the morning. And it was about a squirrel and a grasshopper. The grasshopper would play all summer, and the little squirrel would go off and get his acorns, and he would put it all away for the winter. Worked very hard. When winter came, squirrel was nice and secure, having his acorns in front of the fire and his cup of eggnog or whatever. And the grasshopper was hungry, cold, Saturn, hungry, cold, fearful, Saturn, Pluto, and because he didn't prepare. But you know, the squirrel, he was a compassionate little thing. Shared the space, shared the nuts, you know.
It's a beautiful little story and so appropriate.
And I think this is sort of the underlining feel. I mean, we are going to have a reprieve of everything in 2011 for about 9 months, and after 2012, at that time, then we're really going to go into it big time.
And it's important not to be lulled into a false sense of security.
Yeah.
In 2011, you think, oh, things are improving, I'll just relax and kick back.
Big mistake.
That's when you're supposed to be putting all your resources.
So, you know, you've got 18 months, 2 years at the most. Get your stuff together.
Get your house in order.
Get your house in order.
Exactly. Okay, well, thank you very much, Christina.
Thank you, Sue.
We hope this piece of advice does help you prepare for the future. And if you want to have more information on what Christina's talked about, we'll have her articles up on our blog site. Just visit the college site and you'll be able to access that material.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.